Well, after putting up my video about troubleshooting the problem with the spring in the 1896-1911 rifle, been a lot of questions and comments. And what happened that day is I had more than one rifle out. It's just the situation became difficult for me to do a video. And while I was shooting, I didn't speak. And the reason is when there's other people on the range and I was trying to make a video, every time I talk and comment into the camera in between the firing, the other people on the range would come over. What? What'd you say? What do you want? So I didn't speak. And it was a bad day. It really didn't get a lot of quality video. But since you've asked questions, I'll give you the rest of the footage. I took two other rifles out. The 1911 rifle and the 1911 carbine, K11. Okay. I was trying out this bullet that I developed with the round nose. Now this bullet in the 1889 rifle with the weird 3-groove rifling shot a 1-inch group at 50 yards. Now the problem was, the first gun I used malfunctioned, and that's why I made the videos, the one video about it malfunctioning and troubleshooting. So after watching the troubleshooting video, several people were asking why didn't I try factory ammo in it. Well, okay, and to be polite in that, I understand why you'd ask. The reloads are fine. Okay, and if there was a problem with my reloads and that was the cause of the misfire, I would have diagnosed it as such and said something. There was nothing wrong with the ammo. Okay? Now, what I did, and I'll put the clips in, is I took the 1911, and like I said, there was all kinds of commotion and shooting, and I did fire this reload round, and I only got on camera firing 2 or 3 of them. I think 2 of them I shot in between. I did a sight in, and then I went and shot a few more rounds. I didn't want to burn up this stuff because I was not getting the results I thought I would. Okay, so we'll go to the clip where I shoot. Alright, so as you see, the gun went off. There's nothing wrong with the ammo. Fire the ammo. Okay. So I said, alright, let me take the carbine. Okay. Now, no malfunctions in the 1911, no malfunctions in the K11. But here's the thing, the reaction of the ammunition is what threw me off. When I fired that 180 grain reload, it was generally, 6 inches or something. This thing was 12 inches off with the K11. K11. So I went and I shot 5 rounds through there. I did not bring one of the 18, I have two, 1889 rifles to prove out where it was shooting, or the one that I developed the ammo in. I should have, but I didn't. I just wanted to see how the ammunition worked in the other guns, plus I'd never fired them before, so we'll go to the K11. Okay, and one thing I ask is please wait until I do the conclusion of this and I'll explain what's going on. So, rummaging around, I found some PPU that I forgot I had, PPU ammo, and it's 174 grain full metal jacket. Okay, and this is PPU off the shelf stuff, and you can get it. You can find it online. It'll be anywhere from like $1.50, $1.70 to over $2 a round, but it's around. Okay, it's not cheap, but I bought this a while back, so I didn't pay $2 a round for it. So I said, all right, let me try this in the 1911. Now I did not try it in the 9611 because I figured something was wrong with the gun and I'm not going to waste ammunition. So I went and fired a few rounds in this gun here.
I just leave it there. hard to center up on a bullseye. Yeah, I'll shoot some of the two things. But go ahead and take a few more shots and then go back to the left. Go back to the left, to the 100. Yeah. So you're an inch and a half at 100. Yep. And you're about an inch lower. Which seems reasonable. I leave it right there. Let me take a shot at 100.
Okay, and after I fired some of the factory ammo and did a second thing, what's happening is the point of impact is varying between the two cartridges, between my hand load and between this. Where you're aiming the gun and where the bullet hits, there's a big difference. This reloaded ammo reacted differently in these guns as per the factory ammo. So I went and fired 10 rounds. Now I went and fired 10 rounds in the K11.
What are you shooting at? 200-yard target on the right. Second ring clip. Outside the middle ring.
Alright, now we'll go down and we'll look at the targets, and I'll give a brief explanation on what I had for the rifle, and I shot at 2 targets with the rifle, so it's 2 different types of ammo. Now the 1911 with the reloads fared pretty good. Aiming at the bottom of the page down here, pretty much shooting, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, say 6 inches high at 100 rounds with our 180 grain reload, so not too terrible. We took the 1911 and I said, since it shot well out of the rest of them, I said let me try it with the PPU ammo. Now aiming at the bottom like I did to get these results here with my reload, aiming at the bottom, there's my 5 shots here. So I said, okay, this is pretty good. Let's aim here. And this is what I got with the PPU 174 grain bullet. So that gun shot fairly well with PPU, almost right on the money. Okay, and we'll do a further in-depth review later. Okay, now we'll look at what I shot with the K11, and I shot 2 different groups there with that. Okay, K11. Aiming here at the bottom, first shot was way up here. So what I did is aimed down here at the bottom of this board and ended up with 2 rounds here, so not too impressive. But since I did well with the PPU factory ammo, I came back, aimed here, and got a 5-shot group somewhere in here. So I said, wow, that was pretty good. So let's aim here. Second group, I aimed here and got most of this here. Before, maybe I had 1 flyer with that. And then this was part of the other group down there. But, so with my hand load, shooting here, point of aim, 12 inches, shooting with factory ammo here. But we'll go into more of an in-depth look at these later. Alright, so in conclusion, I didn't really know that the spring was off till I got home, disassembled the 9611, and I realized spring ordered the spring and it should be fine. Okay, but even then, with that rifle, as you've seen, the group was quite spread out, which I thought it should be tighter. Okay, and when I went with the other 2 rifles, the 1911 rifle shot a certain way with this factory ammo, and then the carbine was totally different. Okay, and if you remember, you'll see I give a detailed explanation on both of them. So it wasn't so much the reloaded ammo was malfunctioning, it's the reloaded ammo, the point of impact, using the same sight picture. And accuracy, I'm going to say, was about, there was no big shift in accuracy. They all were spread out. The groups were quite wide on all of them. And of course it could be because of the malfunction, the weather, the noise, but this cartridge worked a hell of a lot better in the K11 than it did in the, then the reloaded ammo. The reloaded ammo was shooting 12 inches high at 100 yards, where this was almost on point of aim by about 4 or 5 inches. So there is a difference. There's something about the barrels that is different, and the ammunition reacts differently. I will do more experimentation. Once I get better weather, I will go out, test my reloads against with the older guns, because that is what this was specifically designed for, was for the older weapons. I am not going to shoot this ammo in the 1889s. And I like to run this against the actual GP11. If it's not as hot, I'll use a chronograph to tell it. I'll use them in the 1911s, but my thoughts are, if and when I can get the components, I will kind of load this to an accurate, somewhat lower power load. I really, in these old guns, I know they are rated for that ammo, but I'd like to go easy on them and run a hand load with the PPU, a 174 grain bullet, if and when it becomes available. But I'd like to back it off and have a little bit lower charge in it. And if I take the 1889s out and they shoot well with the round bullet, they probably will not like that pointed bullet. Okay, so the point of making something to go in there wouldn't be good. Probably what I would do is go on to a cast bullet load for both the 1889 and then just something maybe for the other guns, just to have a little bit more economical load. Because if usually with a cast bullet, you could go with a type of powder where you're only loading about 16 grains as compared to 38, 40 grains of powder. And unfortunately, I have to say, nowadays with the cost of everything, going the route of just plinking with a cast bullet to save money may be something that I will look into so I can get out and shoot more. It's just the way the situation with everything is. So thanks for watching, guys.